Moving to a new place sometimes brings more than new things. It brings shadows that insist on staying. Sarah, at 13, arrived excited at a farm in Pennsylvania where her grandparents lived, and she received a beautiful treehouse in the backyard. It was the perfect refuge for play, where the comfort of the blankets and her toys made her feel safe. But have you ever felt an inexplicable chill in a place where there should be peace? If these hidden sensations have ever visited you, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell icon to discover other stories that delve into what our eyes cannot see. As the days passed, what seemed like an innocent little house became the stage for a growing fear. Sarah couldn't ignore the strange presence, the feeling that something else lived there with her. Every night, a cursed sigh, whether a premonition or an ancient lament, made the whole house tremble, until the terror spread to her grandparents' house, especially over Sarah's grandmother, the silent guardian of dark secrets. The nights became terrible for the grandmother, who didn't share her anguish, but carried it as if it were an invisible mark that only Sarah could feel. Sudden pains and accelerated aging compromised her body and soul. The family sought help at the hospital, enduring tests and treatments, but the shadow seemed to grow around the grandmother's heart, making her presence increasingly fragile. Section 3. In 2022, the inevitable news arrived. Sarah's grandmother, after a delicate heart surgery in another city, did not make it. When the fear that had been living in silence became a reality, Sarah had a painful premonition that had been hammering her mind since the hospital. The foretold lament answered for the sadness that took over the house and the valley where the farm rested in silence. The grief and terror from the treehouse did not give them a break. Sarah and her mother began to feel inexplicable symptoms, pains, visions of things that should not have been there, and a strange care for dolls that seemed to come to life in the dead of night. It was as if the darkness of that place had infested the family's blood and skin, an echo of the grandmother's suffering that left deep marks. Tormented by saudade and fear, the family decided to leave the farm. The denser air of the city brought relief. The symptoms ceased, their hair grew back, and the shadows slowly dissipated. Sarah felt the weight of evil leave with the dust of the plantation they left behind, but the trauma of that period still reverberates in her memory. This story shows how a place can hold memories and presences that are not immediately noticed, but which infiltrate the soul. Sarah learned that the silence of a house can be the loudest scream, and that, sometimes, to move on, you have to distance yourself from what no longer belongs to you. Her experience serves as a warning and inspiration. The unknown can invade spaces we consider protected, and we must respect the signs of intuition and take care of one another, especially in times of greatest fragility. Today, despite the move, Sarah holds a silent reverence for the farm and for what she saw and felt. She knows that there are worlds crossing ours, and that true courage lies in recognizing and facing what we cannot understand. The memories of that lament spread like a warning for those who live in old places, where history has not died and invisible presences remain. The trauma of the treehouse was not just personal. It is an echo that speaks to anyone who has ever felt the shadow of fear as close as the light of childhood. If this account resonated with you, if the feeling of something beyond visits your spaces, don't hesitate to share your experience in the comments. Subscribe and turn on notifications for other real stories that explore what the eyes don't see but the heart feels. For recognizing fear is the first step to taming it and moving on.